channel, everybody. So in this video we are actually going to get the car started for the first time. I had actually done some previous recording, and for whatever reason the microphone decided not to work, so we are redoing the intro and the outro, and everything else is good. So yeah, the reason, and I think you can see it in the shot right now, but this wiring is laying everywhere. The reason it's done like this for now is because there's those Canon style plugs that go through the firewall, and there's 47 wires that pass through that thing. And before we loom it all up in the engine bay and make everything pretty, we need to make sure that it runs correctly, or that everything works correctly when it's plugged in and all that good stuff. So that's the goal for the video. Get the car started, make sure everything functions, and then take it all apart and loom it correctly and make it look good. So I'm gonna grab the camera, show you around, see what we got going on, and then get to the action. Alright, as you can see, there is a gob of wires going in the firewall in this particular plug. This plug and these wires are the one that controls everything on the engine. Everywhere you look has one of these wires through it. So the goal for this video, and like I mentioned at the beginning, is just to make sure that everything that passes through this plug functions correctly. So I'll take you around, show you the inside of the car so you can see what it looks like in there, and then we're going to get started on the video. There is the other plug with the 47 wires coming out of it, and they kind of go, part of those wires go in here, part of the wires go in here, and a few of them go in here, wires go in here, and of course some of those wires go to the back of the car for various different things. So the whole point of that is, and what I had mentioned just a second ago, is there's huge possibility, 94 possibilities actually, to screw up a connection or something like that. So the main purpose of scattering the wires everywhere like that was just to make sure everything works, the engine starts, does what it's supposed to, and all that good stuff, before we loom all the wires up and run them to their permanent homes, because I want it to look really nice as far as the wiring is concerned, and doing so will make it impossible to work on after the fact. So and my phone's going crazy. So anyways, let's get started on the startup process. Oh my god, my phone's still beeping. So yeah, let's get started on getting it started. And I'll show you a couple things on the laptop, what we got to go through to get the data log started and the setup and all that jazz. And there goes my phone again. So it's time. Okay, so we're going to give it just a quick little check of everything, fuel lines related at least. Make sure everything's still tight, and that we won't have any leaks, or any unwanted leaks I should say. Everything should be tight. I think I went over this already. Tight. 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 Just kind of checking everything. Hopefully everything's tight, because if not, that's going to be a whole lot of zip ties and clamps and things to do or undo. Alright, no leaks under the car except for what I spilled right there because the can was so full. Let's go over here. First things first, we got to put the battery on. So we want to turn the fuel pump on and check for leaks. I still have the ARC panel on the ribbon cable, so I can actually take it around with me. Okay, so we'll turn on switch number 8 for the small fuel pump, which is wired direct right now. Don't hear anything. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how much of that I got on video, but the little fuel pump that I showed earlier and probably in a couple other videos, it's locked up or it's bad or there's something going on with it. When I apply power to it, the pump doesn't come on and the wire gets warm. So I went to a plan B and just disconnected it and hooked up the big fuel pump, which is in the same circuit. So for the first startup, we're going to run it on the big fuel pump, so you will know when that thing comes on. So let's see if it's got fuel pressure and it doesn't have any leaks. All right, let's turn the fuel pump on. I hear fuel leaking everywhere. Quite a bit of it, I might add. There's the one line that we forgot to connect. Tighten, I should say. All right, let's try that one more time, see if we have any fuel fountains around here. Sounds good. We got fuel pressure and no leaks now. Let's go back to the back and see what the return looks like. If you'll be able to see that or not, but yeah, let's see what she's got. Okay, gobs of fuel returning, no leaks. That sounds like time to start up a race car. Let's wake the neighbors up because it is probably getting close to 9 o'clock at night. They're gonna love it. They will love it. I knew there was one more thing I would forget, and that's putting transmission fluid in it. So let's put transmission fluid in it. Transmission's completely dry, so I'm gonna put in, I'm gonna put it as much as it takes to run out of the damn dipstick. That's what I'm gonna do. We usually use mainly hydraulic fluid in it and a quart or two of red ATF for color, so you can actually see the fluid on the dipstick. The hydraulic fluid in our cars, or in this car and cars like it, I should say, is a little thicker and it tightens up the torque converter. And if you just need that little bit of edge, that really helps a lot. So this combination has ran before and I'm kind of familiar with it, so I went ahead and put mainly hydraulic fluid in it. But enough of that. Let's get it started. That's why we're all here. We just wanted to put enough transmission fluid in it to keep from hurting it on startup, since it was completely dry of transmission fluid. So we will we'll top it off at a later date, but that's enough to keep it from hurting itself. Now this is the very first startup. I haven't tried it yet at all. So you're going to see everything just like I see it. We'll give the data log a name. Very first startup. Alright. Hit enter. Data log is active. Fuel pump is on. Got a dead battery. Well, that figures. Okay, I think we're ready to try again to start it. I had a brain fart and didn't have the battery connection to the starter live. So now I think we're finally ready. Still going to call it very first startup because it is the very first startup. So check it out.
for the record, if you don't turn the coils on, it's not going to start. So we got all the cameras going. Let's see, now all the coils are on. Fuel pump's on, let's start it. Sounds like we got a timing issue here.
Okay, we got what I thought was a timing problem fixed, which was just one setting in the trigger wheel arrangement on Tuner Studio. So I think everything's ready to start now. We're going to go ahead and kick it off and see how it does.
Okay, I think we can call that a complete success. It was just one setting in Tuner Studio, rising edge, falling edge, that was throwing the timing off and not allowing it to run right. So as you see, after I changed that and got it fired up, or got it started up, it idled and did everything like it's supposed to right off the bat. So we can say that the 47 pin connector through the firewall, all the pins are correct and lined up correctly. So now we can go through the arduous task of looming all of those wires up together. I am not looking forward to that, but it is one big step closer to being ready for the track. So having said that, I think that is a really good place to end the video. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.